Hi Aries, this is a reading for you for, I was going to say October, August 2025. Just doing a final shuffle. Okay. So I'm going to look at the recent past first up. So the recent past, Six of Wands, a card of, I've got the word victory. This is the present, judgment, soon to be future. Three of Swords, a challenge, what's hidden, and possible outcome. Okie doke. So the recent past it's almost like conquering. There's a sense of conquering something. A lot of green here, a lot of growth. It's a victorious energy. And it feels like it would have felt really solid and stable is what I've got. The present position is judgment. Sometimes I find the judgment card comes up when there's a sense of, I wonder whether this is right for me. I wonder whether I'm doing the right thing. I wonder whether they're right for me. It's right for me. And it's a real pondering. It's almost like, please give me the answers, And the answers are really within. And often the answer is already there and you know it. Sometimes the judgment card comes up when the answer is difficult. It's difficult to contemplate, having to navigate that energy. The soon-to-be future is the Three of Swords. Three of Swords can be read a number of ways, and it depends on, your individual circumstances. Quite often, the Three of Swords, I find, is finding out the truth of a matter or realizing that something, someone, or a circumstance is really what you thought it was. And it's particularly if you wonder whether it's going to go well for you or not. And obviously you hope that it does. And this card is saying it's possibly not going to go how you think or how you hope it is going to go. On the other hand, the Three of Swords can be a card of really prompting you to look at what needs to be healed. What needs to be healed within you, within a relationship, a situation. Sometimes it can be a circumstance, I'm getting the words lover's spat. It doesn't have to be that, but usually it's something that has really struck you as hurtful. It's hurt you in some way. But it's Saturn in Libra, so it's a card of, it's happening for a purpose, it's happening for a reason, and it's getting to the core of the matter. And awareness is the first step in a lot of things, a lot of growth, advancement, etc. It can be a little bit difficult though. So this is the card of what's hidden. And death can mean an ending. It usually does. And it doesn't necessarily relate to this matter. It could relate to something else. It can sometimes mean that it's already happened. So this ending has already happened, even though you thought that you didn't realize it, something like that. It can be a slow energy as well. It can take time for something to end, something to complete. that's hidden, that's challenge, that's hidden. You know, I'm getting that could be either or here. There is a challenge with some sort of information coming towards you, and it could relate to this Three of Swords. It could be a challenge getting that information. You know, you may need to get some sort of answer from someone, and you're really ardent about that. You know, you're really striding forward trying to get that. It's like, give me the answer. Tell me a yes or no. Tell me how you feel. Tell me, is this the case? Are my worst fears true? You know, it doesn't have to be that, but there's that kind of energy. So it could be a challenge to stay calm and perhaps maybe even stay silent and wait for the information to come to you. There's also the possibility that this is something that, you know, you really wanted to happen. You didn't really want it to happen, but you kind of know that once it's over, once it's ended, then you can start afresh. And that is what this card is saying. This Eight of Pentacles is really about getting on with it. It's about having a purpose, and there could be a new purpose after this ending, after this closure. I'm also getting is not to rush that, because this can be the card of heartbreak. So it's not to rush that. Oh, I'm over it. That's done. Just forget about it. I'm going to move on. For some people, that will be what you need to do, but for others, no. This could be, you know, the action of somebody who just stifles their feelings. It's not about stifling your feelings. It's about being practical and doing what you need to do. But this is also, this is Sun in Virgo. So it is about building on your skill, building on your, it could be, you know, skills of what you've learned in this situation. It could be, you know, chalking it up to experience. That's, I feel, what this is saying. It's not to say that this hasn't been hurtful, but it is chalking it up to experience and saying, well, I can learn from this. I can make myself better. I can make a situation better. I can make something better from this. And that's what this card is about. So I'm seeing perhaps some sort of disappointment, a knowing within you about this situation. You or somebody else, or the situation coming to a close. Information coming in that may not be welcome, that may be expected. You know, you might want to rush that. You might not. You might be the opposite. And realizing, the advice is to realize that whatever goes on here, it is actually part of a plan. It sounds a bit of a wank to say part of a plan, you know, for your better good and all that. But ultimately, you're really going to sort it out. This is the card of sorting things out, having things in order. And at the end of April, I was going to say April, that's your month. At the end of August, I feel that you could feel like things are in order and you're back on track. Hopefully that's helpful, Aries. Cheers.